What's up, people? Hello, hello, hello. How are you doing? Welcome to Girl Ask Me Anything. Lord have mercy. Grow with Dezi. Hello. I am so excited to be here with you tonight. Um, Welcome. I am back in my groove, back doing live video again. I took some time, but now I'm back and I'm super excited to be here. If you are joining me for the very first time, if you've never seen me live, please just comment down below, say hello, let me know where in the world you are joining me from. I love seeing people from all over the world coming on, just listening to just the little tidbits that I want to share with you. Barbara, what's up, beautiful? I am so excited to see your face. I'm so excited to see you here. Thank you so much for joining. I see, hey, Pastor Snell. Hello, hello, welcome. Thank you for joining me tonight. Super excited. Tonight's live. Um, Over the next, I don't know how long I'm going to be doing this, but this particular topic, but over the next several weeks, I'm going to be talking about how to be a real success. And we're going to be diving into the things that we can get raw and real with when it comes to what, who it is that we need to be. Who it is that we need to be. Because before you can do and have, you got to be. And a lot of people get stuck there, I think. I think a lot of people, they miss the who do I need to be part, and they go straight to the what do I need to do part. And so we're going to be talking about who we need to be, what we need to do so that we can have the things that we want to have. So I'm excited. Thank you so much for hanging out with me for a few minutes tonight. I will do my best not to keep you very long, but there's some really good stuff that I want to share with you tonight. So tonight's topic is ask any failure. Ask any failure. Ask any failure. I think that probably might offend some people because you might think, okay, well, are you asking a person? Are you calling a person a failure? Absolutely not. But this is important because we're going to be talking about relationships. So part of the question that I posted was if relationships are so important, why are so many failing? If relationships are so important, why are there so many relationships that are failing? Now, I'm not just talking about, or if y'all join me thinking that I was going to be talking about romantic relationships, that's just only one part. There are so many relationships that we have in our lives, and relationships are failing. We're seeing people, just going different directions. You get to see the nature of a person when they are facing or they're up against struggle and challenge and conflict. You get to see what they're made out of. You get to see what you're made out of, right? When you are dealing with and facing, life changing challenges that impact you greatly. So, hey David, hey Maria. If relationships are so important, you guys, why do you think so many are failing? Put it in the comments. Why do you think there's so many relationships that are failing? We have relationships, if you're married, with your spouse, with your children, your, family of origin. You have relationships there. You have relationships with your colleagues on the job. You have relationships in business. You have relationships in your neighborhoods and in your community. There's a quote that I want to share with you. But tell me, I want to know, if relationships are so incredibly important, why are so many relationships failing? Success is simply a matter of luck. Ask any failure. Who here has had a failed relationship? Who here has experienced failure in a relationship? Hearts, happy faces, sad faces, mad faces, angry faces, post some faces. I want to know. Barbara says lack of focus. Lack of focus is why relationships are failing. Let's see here. Hey, Sharice. Sharice says communication. Relationships fail because of communication. A lack, maybe, Sharice, I would think. That lack of communication, absolutely. What else? What else? What other things are causing relationships to fail? What do you think those are? What have you experienced? See here. Mary said, I had a failed marriage. Mary, if you could dive, without exposing all your business, girlfriend, dive into, okay, what is something that you believe may have caused the failure in that relationship? Success is simply a matter of luck. Ask any failure. Here's the deal, you guys. Focus is important. Communication is important. Identifying our own stuff is incredibly important. A lot of the times when we experience relationship failure, whether it is in a romantic relationship, a love relationship, a parent relationship, a relationship on the job, in the emotion of all of it, we can get caught up in the emotion itself, how we're feeling, how we're taking the offense, what the offense is making, not making us, because no one can make you feel any way. How we take and we interpret the emotion that we experience in the failure, in the breakdown, or whatever that is. But relationships, when it comes to the success that we want, relationships are incredibly important. We cannot win without having good relationships. You cannot have true success without other people. And isn't that something though? Because people are the ones that give us the challenges, and people are the ones that we need. So somewhere along the line, we need to figure out how to make this thing work. So let's see here. Mary said, lack of respect, not being heard. Those are some of the things that contributed to the failure. Let's see here. Sharice, trust, jealousy, absolutely. Looking at the person in the mirror. Well, let me just share something with you. So I had a funny situation. It wasn't really funny, but I'm going to share it anyway because I believe in, disclosure. What is it? When you share your story, more people can be helped, basically. So the other day I was having a conversation with someone very near and dear to my heart, and they weren't feeling good, and so they had asked me for some information about some things that they could take, some more natural things that they can take. And so I had mentioned going to a particular store to go and buy some lemon ginger echinacea drink. It's really, really great for you. They have it at Trader Joe's, but it's really good for you when you're sick or when you're getting sick, right? And so I'm like, hey, you know what? Go and get this drink. It'll help you, to be good for you. Totally just didn't think about it anymore. And the next day, my son and I, we had gone out and we went and got some kombucha. You guys ever tried kombucha? Kombucha can be really good or really nasty, but it's really good for you. So we go and we get some kombucha. I don't think anything of it, drink my kombucha, get up the next morning. I get a call from from just I get a call the next morning. Hey, you know what? I went and got that kombucha stuff, or I saw that kombucha stuff, or I didn't get the kombucha stuff. And I'm like, kombucha? I didn't tell you about kombucha. I didn't say anything about kombucha to you. Yes, Desiree, you did. You told me to go get the lemon ginger kombucha. No, I didn't say get the kombucha. Now, let me put a pin in it right there. Because when we are in relationships with people and there is any type of trust or any type of issues that take place, when you experience a gap in a relationship, love, friendship, whatever, when you experience a gap, sometimes we will want to attribute the behavior to the person, right? We'll want to say, okay, well, they did this, so therefore they are this. They did this, therefore they are that. And so we will sometimes think that once you make amends or what have you, that we have not, like, we've released everything that we may have been holding on to internally. So Sharice, you love kombucha. I'm so glad that you love kombucha. Anyway, so they're saying, Desiree, you told me to go get the lemon ginger kombucha. I'm like, no, I didn't tell you to get I didn't say anything about kombucha to you. And so I'm like, well, who were you talking to? It wasn't me. Like, what is this? And inside, because I hadn't processed, and this is such a silly story, but I hadn't, I guess I still had some residual stuff of not fully releasing the person, to in full trust, I should say. So here I am. I've got these thoughts like, okay, well, were you really talking to me, or were you talking to somebody else, or are you confusing people, or what's happening? I mean, it was just so silly. Played it off, got off the phone, and later on that morning, literally, I heard a voice that said, didn't you say go get lemon ginger echinacea? Echinacea, kombucha? Couldn't that be easily mixed up, Desiree? Like, why are you tripping? You were ascribing something so silly, but you were ascribing ill will or ill thoughts, negative thoughts towards something so simple. Where is that coming from inside of you? Where is that coming from? It's a silly story, but there are so many things that can drive wedges in relationships that are simple, just like that. And they come from other places. So I'm going to get into the other places at a different time. I'm going to talk about, some of the deeper things when it comes to relationships, because that's just, it's a whole nother lesson. But for tonight, let's talk about what I'm going to share with you a couple of things that make for solid relationships. Okay? Solid relationships. You can't make another person feel important in your presence if you secretly think that they're nobody. You cannot make someone else feel important in your presence if you secretly think that they're a nobody. So here's another story. I'm at a meeting, and many people know that I am, okay, for those of you guys that don't know what I do, I am a leadership development and personal growth coach. I'm a part of the John Maxwell team, and I'm an executive director with the John Maxwell team. So I focus on helping people get results, whether it's for them personally or whether it's for them professionally or if it's for their business or an organization, helping develop better leaders. That's what I do. And so, many people that I work with, they know that this is something that I'm just passionate about. And I share different things that I've learned over the years as I've gone through my own personal growth journey and my own leadership development. And so I'm at this meeting, and we were talking about how the company is just really working on developing the leadership acumen of their leaders and of the people, and how incredibly important it is that there is a space to do so. So I'm listening to a senior leader, and they're sharing about, what they plan on doing and what the goals are, and how we want to make the work environment better, and how we want to make sure that everybody has a place that they, in coming to work, they want to feel cared for, heard, known, trusted, respected, and their values that we incorporate into what we are to do every single day and how we're to treat each other every single day. And so we're talking about all this stuff, and I didn't want to. I didn't want to like say, "Hey, you know what? This is what I do. Hey, pick me, pick me." And so I waited until after the meeting, and I'm sharing with my senior. I'm talking to the senior leader, and I said, hey, I'm not sure if you're aware. I believe that my manager had shared this with you before, but I'm actually certified and trained to help in exactly this space. I would love to be able to help. Now, this person is sitting like I'm here, they're right here, sitting right next to me. And so I shared this with him. And as I was sharing with him, he's not looking at me. He's not, giving me any type of eye contact. He's writing and listening. Okay, cool. I share what I share. And when I was done sharing and saying, hey, I would love to be able to help. I'm professionally trained to do this. And without missing a beat, he didn't raise his eyebrows. He didn't raise his eyes. As a matter of fact, he did not even look at me. And all he says is, oh yeah, I know what you do. And kept it pushing. And I said, You can't make another person feel important in your presence if you secretly feel that they're a nobody. The first characteristic of a solid relationship is respect. If you don't care for people, if you secretly don't like people, if you are secretly holding something on the inside of yourself against another person, there is no way that you can actually have true respect for that person. If you're having hallway conversations after you're in the presence of someone who you're to have a relationship with, building a teamwork with, if you don't have respect for a person, if you secretly don't like them, you can't respect them. A lot of the times you'll find people that say, oh, so-and-so, they're a good person, but, and they'll fill in the blank with all the stuff that they may not care for. Or something as silly as the experience that I had of, hey, you know what? Try this. Well, Desiree, you said try this. Well, no, I know what I specifically said. So what are you talking about? And then there begins a silly argument over something just so silly. If you don't care for someone, if you secretly harbor anything against a person, you cannot truly respect them. Respect is something that you show others even before they have done anything to warrant the respect. It's something you give them ahead of time. So I want to ask you, who is someone that you truly respect? And why do you respect them? You don't have to put it in the comments, but I just want you to think about it. I want you to just kind of process that yourself. Who do you truly respect, and why do you respect them? And if you look at the reasons why you respect them, you're going to see that a lot of that is coming from inside of you, and why you want to be respected, and why you want to be valued, and why you want to be cared for. Let's see here. I've got some comments here. Michelle, well said, my dear friend. I really needed this. I'm so glad that you're here, Michelle. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Shri says 100% true. Mary says, it's been my experience that people who do that have no respect for themselves. That is so good, Mary. Not allowing ourselves to truly release, even if someone's done something wrong to you, just out of the nature of just out of the fact that they're another human being, and they have to inhale and exhale just like you in order to survive this life, to live. They put their pants on, they put their skirts on the same way that you and I do. Just the simple fact that they are another human being, they are worthy of respect. So that's number one. Respect. You cannot make another person feel important in your presence if you secretly think or feel that they're a nobody. The second thing is having shared experiences. To build solid relationships, we like to be with people that we can connect to. We like to be with people that are most like us. But guess what? You can't be relational with someone that you don't know. If you do not take the time to get to know someone, you truly don't have a relationship with them. You might have an acquaintanceship, if that's a word, but you can't be relational with someone that you don't know. So if you want to build a solid relationship, get to know the person. It sounds simple, right? It sounds very simple. But I would venture to say that relationships are failing because people have not truly taken the time to get to know the person. If someone has done you harm in a relationship, understanding that the behavior is what was done, but the behavior, if they apologize, they say that they're sorry, any of those things, the behavior is not the person. But you can't be in a relationship with someone that you don't know. So you got to get to know the person. I got some more comments here. Mary says, you have to have respect for yourself in order to respect others. Yes. Yes, indeed. Clement, I'm talking about the conversation that we had the other day over the echinacea and the kombucha. Just the silliness of all that. But it was a good story for this particular segment. So thank you for allowing me to experience that. So you can't be in a relationship with someone that you don't know. So the first thing is respect. The second thing is having shared experiences. Okay. The third thing for solid relationships, this is very important. Marriages are destroyed because of this. Relationships, parent-child relationships, sibling relationships, relationships on the job are destroyed because of this next one not being what it needs to be. And that thing is trust. Trust is essential to all good relationships. It is essential. If you don't have trust, regardless of the type of relationship it is, if you do not have trust, you do not have a relationship. Now, you'll see all kinds of different examples of this. We've got, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours, and people think that that's a relationship. It's not. Trust is foundational Trust is foundational to a relationship. So, if you wanted to gain trust with someone, what would you do? What would you do? Now, in full honesty and disclosure, without saying too much, I recently had this experience. There had been a broken relationship, a very important relationship in my life, and for years I thought that I had released the hurt and the pain from the brokenness of that relationship. But yet inside of me, I was secretly harboring bitterness, unforgiveness, guilt, hatred, dislike, you name it. Like all the negative things that people don't like to say that they have inside of them. Yeah, your girl, right here, right here. See, full disclosure helps to bring healing. So, um, after several years and a lot of growth and a lot of prayer and listening and deciding to be obedient, rebuilding trust, it doesn't begin with the other person. It starts with you. Because it takes two to tango, right? It starts with you. And so, in this particular situation, um, I had, I finally realized my piece in the puzzle, in the confusion, in the lack of forgiveness. And you want to know a really easy way to begin rebuilding trust is to say two words: I'm sorry. Okay, maybe 5 words. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. So if you have any broken relationships in your life, regardless of the nature of the relationship, when you begin with yourself and you take ownership of your space and you decide, you know what, I want to be this type of person. I want to do these types of things in my life. And in order to do that, in order to have those things that I want to have, I must start here. That's where trust can be rebuilt. I am a living witness that it works. If you want to know more, you can join the Girl Ask Me Anything community and you can hear more about the story. Okay, so two more, and then I'm out of your hair. So we talked about respect, being relational, having shared experiences, and number 3 was trust. The fourth thing is this. Oh, sorry, hold on. See, Mary says, and to get into a relationship with someone else, you have to love and like yourself first. Mary, I'm just snapping all over that. Yes, you have to love yourself and like yourself first. Amen to that. Cherise says, trust is huge, and when lost, it's hard to gain it back. It's really freeing to release. Amen. Amen to that. Yes, indeed. All right. Thank you for sharing, you guys. Thank you for sharing. Okay, number 4. Number 4 is, if you want to make a relationship fall apart, if you want to see it just disintegrate right before your eyes, this is a really, really quick way to do it. You want to hear it? Here it goes. If one person is always the giver and the other person is always the receiver, the relationship will disintegrate. There must be reciprocity. There must be reciprocity. I'll give you an example. When leaders do not understand the full capacity of what real leadership is. The way that we share and teach leadership is that leadership is influence. It's nothing more than that, it's nothing less than that. And when we don't understand that it's influence, that in order for people to connect with us, they're asking three questions. Do I like them? Do they care for me? Can I trust them? And if any of those three questions are not answered with an affirmative yes, the connection is not there. And if you don't have connection, it's very difficult to create and build a relationship. And so sometimes when people get into roles, they think that the role or the title will now give them the automatic trust, the automatic respect, that people will follow them, that people will, you know, people will do what, I'll put it like this: employees will do what the boss says because the boss has the role. They got the title. They have the they've got the right to lead. They've got the right. That's the first level of leadership, right? They've got the right to lead because they've got the title. But if you want people to happily follow you, happily do those things and follow your lead, you must build a relationship with them. It's an absolute requirement. And so if people are just giving and the other person's just simply taking without fail, that relationship is going to disintegrate. It's going to fall apart. People will then, on the job, we will maliciously comply because you have power. So I'm going to do what you say because you have the power, but I'm going to do it begrudgingly. I'm going to do it because I don't want to be, the odd woman out. I'm going to do it because, oh, you're the boss. Okay, I have to listen to you. Well, when people do that, they won't commit to fully utilizing everything that they're made out of. Everything that they can be. They will limit themselves because the relationship is not built there. The relationship is not there. If you want to build a relationship, there's got to be reciprocity. Do you have any relationships in your life where you feel like you're always the giver? Are you always the one making the phone calls? Are you always the one that's reaching out? Are you always the one that's raising your hand saying, yes, yeah, I'll stay late. Yes, I'll participate. Are you always the one? Are you that one volunteer at church that they constantly come to because all the pew warmers, they skip out, but you're the good and faithful one? And you're doing it now not because you want to, but because you feel obligated? Give and take, give and take, give and take. It is an absolute must. I didn't realize we had so many people. Trelicia, hello. Terry, hello. Jennifer, hello. Wow, you guys, thank you so much. Christy, Michelle, Mr. Woods, hello. I appreciate you guys all watching. This is awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. Do you have relationships where you feel like you're always the giver or you're always the receiver? Got to make sure that there is harmony in that. Build solid relationships. There must be reciprocity. Okay. And here is the last one. Wow, Mary. She said, I did it for 16 years. Exhausting. When you get tired, you no longer have the energy or the capacity or the will to keep trying. And that's a dangerous place to be. It's a very, very dangerous place to be. And it's very, very exhausting. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, guys, the last thing. When you have a solid relationship with someone, just being together, spending time together can turn even the most unpleasant and mundane things into positive and fun experiences. Why is that? Why is that? I will tell you that it's because when you take the time to truly get to know someone, to truly connect with them, it doesn't matter what it is. There is a joy in being in the space and in the presence of people that you have built a solid relationship with. There's so many people that will run after, like, we have this thing in the personal growth space where you don't want to, if you want to grow, you want to put yourself in position and around people who are at a greater level than you are, in whatever capacity that is. If you're striving to be an entrepreneur or a business person, you want to surround yourself with people who are successful in that space. You want to surround yourself with, big thinkers, big dreamers, people that know how to build and create. However, you got to be really careful with that. And the reason you got to be really careful with it is because you can find yourself being a receiver of all things and not giving. And if you're just there to receive and you're not out there giving and creating more value for people when they are in their space, or when they're in your space, when they're purchasing, things from you, when they're, listening to you. Like right now, I've been online for 36 minutes here, and my goal was to add value to you. And I really hope that for those of you that have stayed on with me this entire time, that you're getting something out of it. I want to add value to you. I want to give something that you can take and use in your life. There are few things. There are very, very few things in life that will pay you bigger dividends than time and trouble. Let me scratch that. I said it wrong. The time and the expense and the trouble that you spend getting to know and understand people will pay you greatly in the end. It will pay off. You will get bigger dividends for the intentionality, the time, and the attention that you spend on trying to understand people. It is beyond important. If you want to move whatever it is along further in your life, if you're looking at the end of 2019 saying, hey, okay, 2020 is coming. I want to do this. I want to have this. I want to, fill in the blank. At the end of it all, it takes people and it takes all of these things, the willingness to trust, to have respect, to have reciprocity, to have shared experiences, and to have mutual enjoyment. It takes all of these things to build solid relationships. But we can't wait until 2020 gets here. We can't wait and say, okay, well, you know what? I will do this. I will do this then. I'm going to be better then. I need to be better now. I will be better now. And there's nothing that will pay you greater than taking the time and the trouble to truly understand people and to build solid relationships. At the end of it all, one of my favorite quotes, and I believe this was Jim Rohn that said this. I've heard it from my mentor, Dr. John Maxwell. But at the end of the day, it's this: people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So I hope, no, I don't hope, I am ecstatic to be back live. I'm ecstatic to teach again. I'm ecstatic to just share a little bit more about my experiences, my story, and hopefully that those things can bring you clarity. You can see, we can relate to each other, all of the beautiful things, all of the beautiful things. So, again, you guys, my name is Desiree Foster Collins. I am the founder of Excellence by Design. This is my page, this is my channel. Grow with Dezi. Let's grow together, let's become better, and let us start now. Start now. So, thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. I sincerely appreciate you. And I will see you again next week. We're going to continue talking about relationships. And next week, we're going to talk about the things, the failure part. Tonight was all about solid relationships and the success and what's needed. Success is not, you cannot be successful by luck or by chance. You got to be intentional. You can ask any failure about that. All right, y'all. I love y'all. I will see you next week. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Ooh, Mary, this is good. It's a new decade. Be better in the first year of it, and the rest of the decade will bring you so much joy and freedom. Girl, yes. Yes. Oh, Sharice, I'm sorry. I missed your comment. Yep, burnout when you're always the giver. I have been there, done that. It is not a good feeling. It's not. It's not. When there is not a mutual desire for the good of both people, regardless of the relationship, it can lead to burnout. It can lead to relationship burnout. And that's not a good thing, because then the relationship can be destroyed and damaged. And then it's that much more work in order to make things better, to bring things back in alignment, to help move each other forward. So absolutely, relationship burnout it's a real thing. Hey, Christian, what's up, dude? Thanks for joining. Michelle, you're very, very welcome. I love you too. Anyway, you guys, I will see you next Monday. I'm back in my groove, so I will talk to you then, okay? Have a good night.